At the end, you thought you were coming for a leadership session on under the influence, which you are, but it's going to be so much more than that. It's going to be more than just a leadership breakout session for the AOCA. I'm actually going to give you 2 seminars today for the price of 1. The first one is going to be on how to do public speaking. Now, I've been doing public speaking for many years. I had to count up one time, and I've spoken somewhere over 4,000 times in different settings, from as few as 5 people to as many as 500. So I thought what I'd do today to get things started is to just give you a little extra, because the AOCA and I personally want to give you added value to being here and for being here this great seminar here in Reno. So there's 2 things. It's very simple. There's 2 things you need to know when you're going to speak in public. The first is you need to know your audience, and the second, and even more important thing, is you need to know yourself. I learned this lesson the hard way about 12 years ago. My wife Kelly and I and 30 of our friends planted a non-denominational church in downtown Fayette, the little town in northwest Alabama where we live, and our first order of business was to begin to break down walls between churches. And so we went out and we began to invite other churches to get together with us on a Sunday night or a Wednesday night, and there was no ulterior motive, just get together and share and sing, and believe it or not, no one would do it. And we looked and we looked and we looked, and finally I met a young man named Scott McQueen, and he was from Tuscaloosa, about 45 miles away, where the University of Alabama is. You may have heard of that little university down the road. And he said, "Randy, we'd love to, we have the same vision you have. We'd love to do that. So I tell you what, we'll have it at our place, but you speak." And I said, "Great." So here I am, I'm fired up, and I spend a week preparing, and we get ready and go over on that Sunday night, and me and my wife and about 30 people drive over there, and they meet in a school, which I thought was cool. They didn't have a building. They were meeting in a school. So I'm just pumped up, and I walk in, and I look, and there were about 300 people there. And I don't know what happened, but something just like a train hit me, and I just started freaking out. I mean, I've spoken in front of 300 people before, but I don't know. I guess I was anticipating they might have 50, or there's going to be a small 300 people were there. So I go in and I greet Scott, and I start to introduce myself, but I have the deer in the headlights look. And I'm sitting down on the front row, and everybody's singing, and I'm just with my head, I'm literally having a panic attack. And the guy who leads singing for us, my good friend John Gordon, sat down and he said, "What is wrong with you?" I said, I can't breathe. And he said, "Why are you freaking out?" I said, I don't know, I'm so nervous. He said, well, tell a joke. First mistake. And I said, "Well, I guess I have a joke." And I was thinking of a joke, and it was a little edgy, but it wasn't bad, but it was a little edgy. So, know your audience. So I'm with a bunch of church people on Sunday night, but know yourself is more important. And I had not practiced this joke. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to tell you the joke as it was supposed to have been told, and then I'm going to retell it the way I told it. So I stand up and I say, "Good evening, we are so excited to be here from Fayette. And I just feel like this is such a gift," which reminds me of a story. A preacher wanted to get his wife something special for their anniversary, and he wanted to get her something intimate and personal. So he went to the brassiere store. And when he walked into the store, he was simply overwhelmed with the number of choices that were there. And he just sort of stood in the doorway looking around, and a young saleswoman who recognized the preacher came over and said, well, good morning, preacher. How are you doing? What can I do for you?" And he said, "Well, I want to get something for my wife, something personal and intimate for our anniversary, but there's just so many choices." And she said, "Well, let me make it easy for you. I can break it down in a way in which you can understand. There's really only 3 kinds of bras," she said. "There's the Catholic bra, there's the Salvation Army bra, and there's the Baptist bra." And he said, "Are you ready?" "Okay, I can get my mind around that. What exactly does that mean?" And she said, "Well, it's very simple. The Catholic bra supports the masses. The Salvation Army bra lifts the fallen. And the Baptist bra makes mountains out of molehills." Now that's the joke, okay? A little edgy, but not so bad. When you're with a group of Baptists, it is, yeah. That's not what I said. Back it up. This is what I said. A preacher wanted to get something nice for his wife's anniversary, he and his wife's anniversary. So he went down to the brassiere store. And he walked in and he was overwhelmed with the number of choices, and a young sales lady who recognized him came over and said, "Well, good morning, preacher, how are you? What can I do for you?" And he said, "Well, I'd like to get something intimate and personal for my wife, but there's just so many choices, I don't know what to do." And she said, "Oh, it's easy, I can break it down. There's really only 3 kinds of bras. They are the Catholic bra, the Salvation Army bra, and the Baptist bra." And he said, "I can get my hands around that." And every 300 people just guffawed. They were just, and I thought, I'm a pretty good joke teller. I had no idea what I had said. And all 30 of the people from Fayette were going. And my wife, who was sitting right here, was shaking her head. And I tried to go on with the joke, but everybody was laughing so hysterically. And finally, I said, "Why are they laughing?" She said, "You said hands." And I said, "What?" She said, "You said hands." And I went, "Oh." And it dawned on me. I have no idea what I told them after that. But it was about 5 minutes long, and I did such a good job, they never invited me back. Know your audience. Know yourself.